Hello students. Now I will discuss the term assets in this lecture. Assets. Assets from business point of view simply means the property of the business. It means anything which is in the possession of the business is termed as assets. Assets is something for a business which is going to provide it benefit, yani which provide benefit to the business in the near future or in the long run. That is termed as asset. Assets, there are different examples of assets like cash, bank balance, the building in which you are sitting, land and building, your computer system, your mobile, your vehicles, any business vehicles, investment. There are number of examples are there of assets. So in brief, I explain it again. Assets is something which is in the possession of a business or which is the property of a business, and these assets provide benefit to the business in the near future. Now I am going to explain the classification of assets. There are three types of assets normally. Number one, non-current assets. Number two, current assets. And number three, fictitious assets. The number one is non-current assets. Non-current simply means which is not the current asset, or it is also termed as long-term asset or long-term property of the business. And its examples are machinery, equipments, land and building, vehicles, long-term investment. These are the non-current assets which provide business benefit to the business in a long period of time, that is more than 1 year. It means these non-current assets are not possessed for a short period of time, rather these are acquired, these are possessed for a long period of time. For example, land and building is not acquired for 5 months, 6 months, 2 months, no, because we are going to run business on that land and building with the help of that land and building. So we are going to have that for a long period of time. Vehicles are taken up for more than 1 year. Then your machinery, equipments, these are also acquired for a long period of time. So simply, non-current assets are those assets which are acquired, which are possessed for a long period, which is more than 1 year, say, for which they provide benefit. Its types are types of non-current assets. The first one is tangible asset. Tangible means what? Which you can touch, you can see. That is called tangible. And tangible assets include land and building, machineries, equipments, and that is your vehicles. These are what? These are the tangible assets which we can see, we can touch. It means these assets have the physical existence. These are the tangible assets, and these assets also provide benefit for a long period of time. Second type under this heading non-current assets is intangible assets. Intangible means which is not visible. The assets which we can't see, we can't touch, but these are the valuable assets, and they also provide benefit to the business for a long period of time. The examples of intangible assets are, I write up here, just listen. That is goodwill. Goodwill, the reputation of the business. That is trademark. That is example of intangible asset. And computer software. So these are the some of the examples of intangible assets. So non-current assets are of two types, tangible, intangible, but all are long-term assets and they provide benefit to the business for a long period of time. Now coming to the second type of assets, second is current asset. In simple term, current assets are those assets which provide benefit to the business within a short period of time, that is within 1 year. In other words also, current assets are those assets which can be converted into cash or cash equivalent. I repeat, current assets are the assets which can be converted into cash within a period of 1 year or operating cycle. New term is there, operating cycle, which I am going to explain in the next lectures. So, the assets which can be converted into cash, like debtors, bills receivables, short-term investments, these can be converted into cash within a period of 1 year, and these are the current assets. And with the help of these current assets, we can easily make payments of our current liabilities. Some examples of current assets: debtors, the persons to whom goods are sold on credit; trade receivables, trade receivables. These are the examples, and one more example is there, stock. These are examples of current assets. Now coming to the third type of assets, that is fictitious or nominal assets. Listen it carefully, students. Nominal means what? Which has no existence. That is called nominal. So fictitious or nominal assets means the assets which do not have any physical existence. And adding to this, these are the assets which cannot be realized in the market and they have no market value. This is something amazing. These are assets but has no market value. Now then how can we consider them assets? Because every asset, small or big, it must have a market value. But actually, in simple language, I tell you, these are not assets, but these are considered as assets because they have the debit balance. Due to their nature only, they have the debit balance. When you would be able to understand accounting properly and the accounting process, complete process, then you will understand this debit or credit balance. When we prepare the balance sheet, students, there are some items which are shown on the asset side of the balance sheet, and these are shown on the asset side of the balance sheet because these are having debit balance but cannot be realized in the market, cannot be sold in the market until unless their debit balance is written off. It means these are shown in the balance sheet of the business till the time these are not cancelled from the books of accounts, and there is a process of writing off and cancellation of these assets. And example of these assets is profit and loss account debit balance. Profit and loss account debit balance. Profit and loss account debit balance is what? It is loss incurred by the business. It means whenever there is a loss in the business, it is considered as debit balance of profit and loss account and it is shown on the asset side. Next example is advertisement expenses account. Since these also have the debit balance, that's why these are shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. So students, I think the concept of assets is clear to you in simple form. Assets, three types and their examples, and I believe the concept is completely clear to you. To press the like button, share the video with your friends or classmates, and subscribe the channel if not yet subscribed.